Hello everyone, this is Salih. Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a new feature in Space. I'm going to introduce you a new space. As it was found by another user in GitHub repository, actually, he was suggesting something. He was using Fluent validation and he said, I wish we had sort of like global variable. Not global variable, global pipeline. As we already had this pipeline feature, it was like handler specific, but he was talking about the more general one. So every handler would have the same thing. If he was implementing the same thing in the space, he would have the create handler and pipeline, handler pipeline, handler pipeline. It's because he said, I wish we had a global sort of pipeline so I can use it for each handler. I don't want to create a new pipeline for every handler I have. And I thought I did some investigation on Space Project, and I'm going to introduce you global pipelines and a useful feature like he was mentioning, like Fluent validation. Let me introduce you my project. I have a very specific, very small project. We have map post create user. So we are creating a user, right? And then we are returning a user detail. It's get, basically. We are still going to use the iSpace. And also we have get user. So it is going to return all the users. And in our handler, it is super simple actually. So create user handles the create user request. If you send this request, it is going to be handling by this one. I'm going to be using entity framework in memory database. It's not an important thing, but what we do is just create a user and then return the create user response from that one. In get user by ID function, we are actually going to database, trying to find the same one, and we are returning that get user by ID response with the one that we found. If we can't find, so we just return null. If this is, for example, if this is null, we are returning null, easy. And when we return all the users, we are basically going to, without a filter though, so we are going to go to database, bring all the users. It is super simple. And we have a pipeline. So let's say performance logging. So this is create user request. If you remember, create user request was this one. If someone hits that handler, if someone sends this request to space, it is going to handle that one and pass it to this pipeline first. So this is going to be, this part is going to be the before part, and then this is going to be the actual implementation, and this is going to be the after part. So it is actually super simple. It's because it's doing just performance logging. It is calculating how long a request took to creating things, and it is logging it. So in our example, the default logger is the console application. We are going to be able to see the results on console itself. But he was also, the user over here, was saying, I'd like to have a pipeline for every handler. So in this case, this is specific handler. So this is only going to be handling, or this is going to be a pipeline for only create user request handler. It is going to be working for this one only. For example, it's not going to be working for this one. It is not going to be working for this one. But what we need is a global sort of pipelines. So I now have a global pipeline. This is a new implementation. This is a new feature that I'm now introducing. It is super simple. Everything is the same, except this is not pipeline this time as like this one. For example, if you say pipeline, it is going to try to find that request. For example, when it is scanning everything, it is going to look for that handler, and this pipeline will be only chained to that handler. It's because now we are specifying a type. But in validation global pipeline, we don't specify anything, as it is generic. That means it is going to be hit by all the pipelines. We also have the similar property like order. You may have more than one global pipeline, and this is going to be telling which global pipeline should run first. Not only that, but we also have execution state. It's because we have now global pipeline And then in the same application, we might have pipelines, so handler specific pipelines, and also the handler itself. So the execution stage means that when this global pipeline is going to work, if we go to the documentation, space, documentation, global pipelines, you will find, if we search stages, you will find the explanation for each. And there will be a warning somewhere in the document, ordering with stages, use execution wisely. So before handlers, before handler inner, after handler inner, and after handler. So 4 of these mean something else. So for cross-cutting concern, for example, before handler, it's because we might have global handler and then handlers, sorry, we can have a global pipeline, but handlers pipeline as well. And if we want this global pipeline to run after handlers pipeline itself, we may have to change the execution state. It's because it might be something like maybe you have a handler specific pipeline for exception catching, exception handling, but the global pipeline for validating or maybe something else. So you don't want that validating stuff also be in that global handler, right? The pipeline handler is because it is going to try to catch every exception. So you might throw an exception from your validation pipeline. In this case, for example, it is generic. By the way, it doesn't have to be generic. So you can create global pipeline per specific handler. So that would technically be the same thing with this one. So if you have create user request, the same thing, but it is providing, it's supporting that feature as well. Now it is going to find the request. I mean, it's going to try to get the validator. It's because we are now using Fluent validation. I have implemented the Fluent validation, so it is going to scan all the validators in the system and it is going to inject them. And I'm going to be able to find it if I get lucky. If I don't get lucky, if it is not injected, I will assume, okay, this request type has no validator, so I'm going to skip. So I'm going to run the next pipeline so it can run. But if I found a validator, so now I'm going to run the validation, right? So this is going to call the validation, and depending on the result, it is going to throw an exception or not. So I'm throwing an exception over here, but no worry, there will be, for example, where was it? That was somewhere, I think it's here. There will be try catch block, but if you like, you can have another global handler, global pipeline for exception handling, or maybe some specific handlers, some specific handler pipeline for try catch block. This is full flexibility, so you have this opportunity. If there's a validation exception, for example, it returns bad request. We have scenarios I'm going to show you. In this case, let me run the application first and see how it goes. So in the console, we don't see anything right now, but if we go to here, I'm going to try to get the user 1. I make the request. It just says, okay, this is not found. Maybe you shouldn't return no content in any way. But over here, I'm going to create a user with John Doe. So I just hit it and it is being created. By the way, if you know, as John Doe is a specific name, is a special name. If you don't know, please Google it so you'll like this story. So Doe means something. Anyway, I have just created a user and it has been working. If I go to get function with ID 1, I'm going to get it. But in this one, for example, this request is invalid. It is going to throw an exception and return a result what we want. It's because the name is empty. For example, if I hit this one, it says name is required, but also name must be at least 2 characters. So that means our global validation pipeline worked. It is going to call this, it's going to find the validator and include this one. As I have the validator, for example, for create user, as you can see, name is required, name must be at least 2 characters, name must not exceed 100 character. We have the similar thing for email and we have the similar thing for age. If you don't believe me, you can hit this endpoint with non-valid email address, for example, what you will get is a valid email address is required with 400 bad requests, as well as you will get the same 400 requests with different message over here. Age must be between 1 and 150 if you're a person, if you're a human. It doesn't have to be 1 to be actually, but it doesn't matter. So that means our validator is working. Our global validator is working. We can test the similar thing. It's because we can test the similar thing with get endpoint. It's because we have the similar thing. So get user returns the actual value, but if I send 0, it is going to say user ID must be greater than 0, as well as the same thing for here if you send -1, the user ID. If I hit this one, it is going to return all the users. It's because we have 2 validators over here. And I didn't have to specify any validator. I didn't have to do anything specific in my application, as you can see. What I only did is I injected the global, I injected the Fluent validator. I have created its validators, right? It has to be somewhere. And also have a global pipeline. And I use that global pipeline in this case for validators, but it doesn't have to be validators only. You can do everything. But remember, if you have a global pipeline, remember, it is going to be running every handler that you have. So you can't exclude something. So I wouldn't be able to say, for example, I want this global pipeline only work for, I don't know, for this one maybe. I wouldn't be able to say it. It's because I already have that feature for handler specific. So this one is handler specific pipeline. It is going to run only when you hit create user request handler somehow. But remember, global filters are for every handler regardless. So whatever you do over here, be careful. It's because it's going to be running for every validator. And also this feature is in, if we go back to space, it is in v2.3.1 preview version. Do I have it? Nope. Last month, an hour ago, over here. It is over here. The package itself, the NuGet package itself, has been published like in last hour or something. I'm going to make this release. I'm still going to try to test somehow some modules, but it's in preview, so you can try and let me know if you have any error or something. But how global pipelines work is this. It is super easy. Create something, mark it as global pipeline. If you don't remember that method signature, you can always use like I global pipeline T request, T response or something, not two-factor request. If you have this one, for example, T request to response, it is going to force you to have this meta signature, or you can just basically go inside of that interface to see what the actual signature is. You don't have to use this one, but this is required. Even though you have the interface over here, you will have to mark this function with global pipeline. Everything is in the documents. Please read the documents and let me know if you have any comment or any feature video request, or if you have an idea, let me know. I'll try to make a video about it. Until the next video, happy coding.